Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In our previous class, we have been discussed about the asexual reproduction. So today in our class, let us go for the sexual reproduction. Let us know what is the meaning of sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction is nothing but the process of formation of young ones or offspring by two parents by the formation and fission of sex cells are called sexual reproduction. So what is the meaning of sexual reproduction? Means the process of formation of young ones or offspring by two parents by the formation and fission of sex cells or gamete is called sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction is nothing but the process of formation of young ones or offspring by two parents by the formation and fission of sex cells or gamete is called sexual reproduction. What is the meaning? Means so during the sexual reproduction, how many parents are responsible? Two parents are responsible to produce the offspring. So how many parents are responsible? Two parents are responsible to give birth to the offspring, and these two parents they'll produce or they'll be the formation of sex cells, or even we are calling it as a gamete. Sex cells we are calling, or else even we are calling it as a gametes. Sex cells, which are the sex cells? Sperm and egg. So two parents both they'll produce as the sperm and egg, and there will be the fission of these two gametes. That fusion it will lead to the formation of zygote, and it may leads to the formation of a new individual. Such type of process we are calling it as a sexual reproduction. But in our previous classes, we have been discussed about the asexual reproduction. During the asexual reproduction, single parent was there to produce the offspring, and in that single parent, there is no formation of sex cells or gametes in their body. Without the formation and fission of gametes, what happens is they are producing the offspring. But in this case here, two parents are responsible for the formation and fission of fission of sex cells or gametes is called sex cells. So gametes to whom we are calling? Gametes are nothing but sperm and egg will be released from this two parents. So this is about a sexual reproduction. Now let us discuss what are the characteristics of sexual reproduction. Characteristics of sexual reproduction. Let us discuss the first character of the sexual reproduction. So first character of sexual reproduction is it is biparental in most of the organism, that is parents are unisexual, and most plants and some lower animals are bisexual or uniparental. So what is the meaning here? Means it is a biparental in most organisms. Some parents they are biparental in condition, some parents are it is biparental. Biparental, maximum organisms are biparental. Biparental means what? Means that is it is unisexual. Unisexual means so say a male will be separate, female will be separate, or some are what they present here means some they are some organisms like plants and some lower organism, lower animals are bisexual in condition. Bisexual means uniparental. Uniparental means single parent. Uni means what here? So uni means one, bi means two. So the name itself it will shows here. So uni means what here? One parent. In one body itself, both the sex organs will be present. Some organisms they are in their body, both the sex organs will be present here, whereas in some organisms what it will be present, so two different in some organisms they are biparental is nothing but here, so they will be the male will be separate, female will be separate here. So male they having the male sex cells, female they having the female sex cells. So that's why we are calling it as a unisexual. If you want to keep remember means opposite here. If it comes biparental means by opposite what it will come? Uni. Bi means two, opposite what it will comes? Uni. So unisexual. Or else if it comes bisexual means bi means two, opposite what it will come? Single, by uni. So uniparental. So this is the first character. First character of sexual reproduction is what here means some parents will be unisexual in condition, some parents they will be bisexual in condition. So first character of sexual reproduction, what? Some parents are bisexual, bisexual in condition. Some parents are unisexual in condition. But maximum organisms will be in a unisexual in condition. Very few organisms will comes in a bisexual condition. That means here both sex organs will be present in the same body. But here 10 different sex, they will be having the different sex cells. It will be present. So this is the first character here. Next character what is sex organs we are calling it as a gonads. Next what here is sex organ. Sex organ are called gonads. Gonads. Sex organs what we are calling? We are calling it as a gonads. These gonads it will be differ. In male we will calling it as different. In female we are calling it as a different. So commonly sex organs what we are calling? Sex organs we are calling it as a gonads. Male sex organ what we are calling? Our male gonad are called what we are calling? Testes, and female gonad are called ovary. In animals, male gonads we are calling it as a testis. In female gonads we are calling it as a ovary. Whereas if you come to the plants here, we are giving the another name here. In plants, male gonads what we are calling? We are calling it as a antheridium. And female gonad we are calling it as a archegonium. So commonly sex organs what we are calling? Commonly sex organs we are calling it as a gonads we are calling. So if we come to the specific here means male gonads we are calling it as a testis, or else we are calling it as a antheridium we are calling. Female gonads we are calling it as a ovary, or even we are calling it as a archegonium. Especially in the plants we are giving this name antheridium, archegonium. Archegonium means female gonad, antheridium is male gonads. So male gonad testes and ovaries. In the female body it contains the ovary, in the male body it contains the testes it contains. Next is character. Gametes are produced within the sex organ by meiosis through gametogenesis process. Next what name is gametes are produced. Gametes are produced within the sex organ by meiosis through gametogenesis process. So next character what here? Gametes are produced within the sex organ. You know very well to whom we are calling it as a sex organ. Sex organs are nothing but testis and ovary. Male test organ we are calling it as a testis. Female sex organ we are calling it as a ovary we are calling. So sex organ means testis and ovary we are calling. And gametes are produced within this sex organ. To whom we are calling it as a gametes? Gametes are nothing but sperm and gametes are nothing but sperm and egg. To whom we are calling it as a gamete? Sperm and egg we are calling it as a gamete. This sperm and egg it will be produced in where means it will be produced inside the sex organ. Which sex organ means testis and ovary it will be produced. How it will be produced means through the meiosis process. How it will be produced means it will be produced by the meiosis process, and that process what we are calling means we are calling it as a gametogenesis. The formation of gametes within the sex organ through meiosis is called as gametogenesis. Formation of sex cells process we are calling it as a gametogenesis. Gametogenesis is nothing but formation of a sex cells in the sex organ through by the meiosis is called as gametogenesis. This is the characteristics of a sexual organism. One, it may be parents may be unisexual or parents may be bisexual. Next one, sex organs what we are calling? Sex organs we are calling it as a gonads, and these gonads are having the specific name. So male gonads we are calling it as a testis, female gonads we are calling it as a ovary. In plants male gonads gonads we are calling as Antheridium, female gonads we are calling as Archegonium, and the sex cells where it will be formed is it will be formed inside the sex organs like testes, ovary, or Antheridium or Archegonium. It will be formed here. How means through the meiosis process, and that process we are calling as a gametogenesis we are calling. Next character what here means the male gametes are motile called sperm or spermatozoa which are produced in large number. Next character what they are telling, the male gametes are motile called sperm, or another one name what we are calling spermatozoa which are produced in large number. Next character what here, male gamete are motile. Motile means what? Movable. They can move. Motile means move, movable. So are called sperm. Or another one name what? Spermatozoa. Another name what we are calling spermatozoa, and they will be produced in large in number, which are produced in large number. Which are produced in large number. So next character what here means male gametes are motile. Male gametes will be motile in condition. They will be having the flagella. With the help of that flagella, they will show the movement here. So and that male gamete what we are calling as a sperm, or another one name we are calling as a spermatozoa we are calling. Next again these gametes they will be produced in a large in number, plenty in number they will be produced in the male body. Next character, the female gametes often large and non-motile called sperm or ova. If you come to the female gametes, male is finished. If you come to the female gametes are often large and non-motile. Non-motile means not movable, called egg or ova. Female gametes what they are means female gametes are often larger in number. So compared to male here, so female gametes will be larger in size. Male gametes will be smaller in size, whereas female gametes will be larger in size, and they are motile in condition, they are non-motile in condition. What you call the male gamete means male gamete we are calling as a sperm or spermatozoa, female gamete we are calling as a egg or ova we are calling. So this is the another character of the sexual reproduction. Next character, the haploid male and female gametes are fused to form a diploid zygote from which new individual develops through repeated cell division and differentiation. Next character what they are telling him is the haploid male and female. Male gamete is also in haploid in condition. Female gamete will also be in haploid in condition. Haploid means what here? N. Haploid means what? N in condition. So they will fuse together. So male and female gamete what they'll do? They'll get fused to form what they'll get formed? They'll form a zygote. Haploid male and female gametes fused to form a zygote. Later this zygote they'll undergoes the repeated cell division. Repeatedly means continuously cell division. So as the zygote formation it will be taken place. This zygote it will start for division. You know very well cell division. With cell division, mitosis cell division. Through this mitosis cell division, with cell division, keep remember mitosis cell division. Here meiosis it will not come. Through the mitosis cell division, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16. So like that repeatedly they will undergo the cell division and the differentiation. 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 So what is the meaning of differentiation? Means as the cells will be go on repeatedly undergoes the cell division, means so all the cells will be similar in structure. Now these cells, they'll get the particular shape, they'll get the particular function, and they'll start for performing a different organs in our body. So that is nothing but we are called as a differentiation. You know very well, in our body varieties of cells are present in varieties part of our body. Heart cells are not similar to the brain cells are not similar to the skin cells are not similar to the kidney cells. So like that here varieties of cells are present here, and all these cells how it will get differentiated means through this differentiation process. So after cell division, what happen? These cells, they'll get their own structure, they'll get their own shape, they'll get their own function, and they'll get their own origin. Due to that one, completely a new individual it will get formed. So next character what is haploid male and female gamete fused to form a zygote. This zygote it will undergo the repeatedly cell division, continuously will undergo the cell division. So which cell division means mitosis cell division, and after the cell division, these cells which are performed here during the cell division, they'll get undergo the differentiation, they'll get the structure, function, and they'll get the origin also. Next character, sexual reproduction is slow process as compared to asexual reproduction. Next character what here means sexual reproduction is very slow. Sexual reproduction is slow process as compared to asexual reproduction. Next character what is sexual reproduction is a slow process as compared to asexual. So already we have been discussed in our previous class the characteristics of asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction we will get a fast manner offspring will get here. So as we have been discussed in our previous classes that during the asexual reproduction, so offsprings will be getting a quick manner will get here. Fastly we will get the offspring. But during the sexual reproduction, so slow, it is a slow process here. So it will take a longer time in order to get the offspring. So that's why sexual reproduction it is a slow process as we compare to the asexual reproduction. Next character, the number of offsprings produced through sexual reproduction are lesser as compared to asexual reproduction. Next character what here is the number of offsprings produced through sexual reproduction are number of offsprings produced through sexual reproduction are lesser as compared to asexual reproduction. So number of offsprings produced through sexual reproduction are lesser. So in this process, in the sexual reproduction, what happens is the offsprings will get in a very less manner will get, and as I said you here, and that offsprings will comes in a very slow process. It will take a longer time in order to get the offspring. But in this case here, we will get a sexual reproduction, and that offsprings will be get in a very less in condition. It is a slow process also, and even will get a very less number of offspring also. It is sexual reproduction, it is a very slow process also, and we will not get a offspring in a large in number. We will get a offspring in a very less in number when we compare to the asexual reproduction. In other hand, if we take the asexual reproduction, means in asexual reproduction, so it is one of the quick method for the reproduction. So fastly we will get the offspring, and along with that, what they will do here is the large number of offsprings we will get during the asexual reproduction. But in sexual reproduction, very less number of offsprings will get in the sexual reproduction. So this is the difference between the asexual and sexual reproduction. So next here, these are all the characteristics of sexual reproduction. These are all the characteristics of our sexual reproduction. Next, we will go to the sexuality in organism. Next, let us discuss the sexuality of organism. So, in most sexually reproducing organisms, there is no morphologically or physiologically difference in the functional gamete. So, in most what here sexually reproducing organism, sexually reproducing organism. Many organisms are undergoing the sexual reproduction. So the organisms which are undergoing the sexual reproduction, they are producing the gametes here, and that gametes, there are no difference. There is no difference. No difference in morphologically or physiologically. In sexually reproducing organism, there is no difference in morphologically and physiologically in the gametes. So sexually reproducing organism, they are producing the gametes, and these gametes, they are exactly, most probably they will be similar in morphology and even in the physiologically also. Morphologically means, you know very well, external characters. So which are the organisms they are producing the sex cells here, these sex cells will be approximately, the external structure will be similar only, and physiologically means inside that sex cells, which are the functions it is taking place at that function will also be approximately, more or less it will be similar in all the sexually reproducing organism. Now let us know few terms about the sexuality of the organism, which is important for your exam for 1 mark question or 2 mark questions they may be asked for your exam. First let us know what is the meaning of a homothallic. This is the important terms, keep remember these terms. First one is homothallic. So let us know what is the meaning of homothallic here. So homothallic is nothing but here, if the gametes present on the same plants, such organisms are called homothallic or bisexual condition. Example, mucor. So what the homothallic means, the name itself it will shows here. So homo means what here, same. So what is the meaning of homothallic means, if the gametes present on the same plants, such organisms are called homothallic. So in one plant only, both the gametes if they are present means, such gametes, such condition we are calling it as a homothallic. Homo means what here, homo means same. The name itself it will shows what is the meaning here. In same plant, if both the gametes, male gamete and female gamete, if it is present in the same plant means, then that condition we are calling it as a homothallic we are calling, or even we are calling it as a bisexual condition also we are calling. Homothallic and bisexual both are same only. In a single plant, male sex organ will also be present, female sex organ will also be present, then that condition we are calling we are calling it as a homothallic. Both the gametes, male gamete and female gamete, both they are present in the same plant means we are calling it as a homothallic we are calling. Next definition, heterothallic. Heterothallic. What is the meaning of heterothallic? Heterothallic means if the gametes present on different plants, such organisms are called heterothallic. So next the heterothallic means what here? If the gametes present on the different plants, such organism are called heterothallic, or else even we are calling it as a unisexual condition. Example, rhizopus. So if the gametes, same definition it will come here, but difference what will come, instead of same here you have to write on the different you have to write. So in the same plant, if here in the same plant, both the gametes if it is present, male and female, both the gametes if it is present on the same plant means, in a single plant means on that plant itself, so then that condition we are going to say homothallic here. Here heterothallic means, then here hetero means what here? Hetero means different. Hetero means different. So if the gametes are present in different plants, so in one plant one gamete, another plant another gamete if it is present means, in one plant say female gamete, another plant male gamete if it is present means, then that condition we are calling it as a heterothallic condition. Example, rhizopus. In one plant male gamete, in another plant female gamete if it is present like that means, then such type of plants or such type of organisms what we are calling heterothallic, or else even we are calling it as a unisexual condition we are calling. So this is the meaning of homothallic and heterothallic condition. Example for this is mucor and this one is the rhizopus. Next let us go to the next definition. Next here let us know what is the meaning of hermaphrodite or bisexual. This is important question for your exam. Many times repeatedly they ask in your exam, hermaphrodite, or else even we are calling it as a bisexual. Hermaphrodite or bisexual. Let us know what is the meaning of a hermaphrodite or bisexual. So now here in higher organisms, sex organs are well developed. As you know very well here, in higher organisms all the organs will be well developed here. So here sex organ will also be well developed. Sex organs to whom we are calling here. So just now I said you here testes and ovaries, or else antheridium or archegonium. So in higher organisms sex organs are well developed here. So and they become male and female organs, and they became what here, male and female organ. So as the sex organs will be very well developed here, and they will become what we are calling here, mimesis we are calling it as a male organ, and female organ we are calling male and female, or else in the organism what we are calling female organism or male organism we are calling. Example, in higher flowering plants, both male and female sex organs like stamen and carpels occurs in the same flower. In higher plants what happens, the plants will produces the flower. In higher flowering plants, both male and sex organs like stamen and carpel occurs in same flower, and such type of plants we are calling it as a hermaphrodite, are called hermaphrodite or bisexual. Example, sweet potato. So hermaphrodite are bisexual. So already you know very well about bisexual. Bisexual to whom we are calling, just now we have been discussed. Bisexual means, so what means, in one organism so both the sex organs are present. So in the same manner, in higher flowering plants, both male and female sex organs like stamen and carpel occurs in the same flower. Such plants are called hermaphrodite. Or even we are called as a bisexual. Example, sweet potato, or else here hibiscus flower. So already I have been seen the hibiscus. In that hibiscus we will see both the sex organs will find. That is nothing but stamen and carpel also we used to find. Now such type of plants what we are calling is, such type of flowers we are calling it as a hermaphrodite or bisexual in condition. Example is sweet potato, or else you can write your hibiscus. or else you can read the what name is hibiscus. These are all are the about your hermaphrodite. So this is one of the important question for your exam. Hermaphrodite means also same, bisexual also same only, and homothalic also same. These are the different terms which are giving the same meaning: homothalic, hermaphrodite, bisexual. These three definition words also gives the similar meaning only it will give, but the words are different here, but the meaning will be same: hermaphrodite, bisexual, homothalic. So in all these conditions, both the sex organs will be present in the same plant or same flower, it will be present. Next one, let us know what is the meaning of a dioecious. Dioecious plant or unisexual plant. Dioecious means two, so that's why unisexual. So what means unisexual means in some plants like male flowers like staminate flower and female flower like pistillets are born on different plants. These plants are called what name is dioecious. What is the definition of the dioecious or unisexual plants? Means in some plants male flower what we are calling staminate flower. Male flower what we are calling? Male flower we are calling it as a staminate flower, and female flower we are calling it as a pistillate flower. Male flower we are calling it as a staminate flower, female flower we are calling it as a pistillate flower, are born on different plants. So these plants are called dioecious plant. Example: date palm, papaya. Example. So dioecious plant or unisexual plant means, so these are nothing but unisexual. Unisexual means you know very well, unisexual, another name is dioecious. Unisexual, we are also unisexual. In one body only one type of sex organ are present. In the same manner, in one plant only one type of male sex organ will be present. So the plant which is producing the flower, either that plant it contains the male flowers or it contains the female flower. The plant which is present in that plant, it produces either male flower. So male flowers we are calling it as a staminate, because in male flowers which sex organ will present? Stamen it will be present. So that's why we are calling it as a staminate flower. In that plant completely whole that plant it will produces only the male flower, or else here that plant it will produces only the female flower. That condition we are calling it as a unisexual. That plant it will not produces both male and female flowers. That plant either it produces male or either it will produces the female flower. Such type of plants we are calling it as a unisexual or dioecious plant. Like how we are also unisexual only, because in our complete body we having only one sex organ, either male or either female. In the same manner, in that plant either it contains the female flower or either it contains the male flower. Such type of plants we are calling it as a dioecious plant or unisexual. Example for this is date palm and papaya. Again I am telling you here, these terms are very important for your exam. They will ask for your 1 mark or 2 marks question. Next condition, dioecious also same, unisexual also same. Next one, what means? Let us know what is the meaning of monoecious. Monoecious plant. Monoecious plant. The name itself it will show us what is the meaning here. When both male and female flowers are present on the same plant, they are called as monoecious plant. What is the meaning here? Means when both male and female flower are present on the same plant, they are called monoecious plant. Example: maize, coconut, pinus, and cucurbit. So what is the meaning of a monoecious? Means when both male and female flowers are present on the same plant. In one plant only both male and female flowers if it is present means we are calling it as a monoecious. So monoecious is nothing but here, even we are calling it as a what here? Bisexual condition. Monoecious is nothing but bisexual condition. Monoecious is nothing but bisexual condition, or else even we are calling it as a homothallic condition. So these are the different terms which are giving the same meaning. So monoecious also same, so bisexual condition is also same, homothallic is also same. Homothallic is also same. Next here, hermaphrodite is also same. Monoecious means when both male and female flowers are present on the same plant. So both male and female flowers, if they are present on the same plant means we are calling it as a monoecious plant. Example: maize, coconut, pinus, cucurbitae. Example, and even the Cara also. Cara. So even the Cara also, what it contains? It contains the male Anthidium and female Archegonium sex organs. It will be present on the both. Next, if you come to the animals, if you come for the animals, in lower animals both male and female sex organs are present in the same individual. They are called as hermaphrodite, monoecious and bisexual. Same condition. So here we have been discussed about the plants here. If you come to the animals also, in the same manner it will also comes. In animals means we are calling it as a hermaphrodite. In lower animals, both male and female sex organs are present. Sex organs are present in the same individual. Such animals are called hermaphrodite, monoecious or bisexual. Bisexual. Example for this are tapeworm, sponges, earthworm, leech, etc. So, in lower organisms, both male and female sex organs are present in the same individual. In one individual body only, both the sex organs are present. Such animals we are calling as a hermaphrodite, monoecious, bisexual. So these are the names we are giving. Like just now I said you in the plants also, hermaphrodite, bisexual, dioecious, monoecious. So these are all the same terms which are given here. In the same manner, in the animals we are calling it as examples. It is important. In your exam they may be given, they may give this animal's name and they may ask you whether they are bisexual in condition or unisexual in condition. So keep remember this example: tapeworm, sponges, earthworm, leech, all these things. If you next here, next unisexual. Unisexual are even we are calling it as a dioecious. Most of the animals are unisexual. Unisexual are dioecious. So with distinct male and individual. Unisexual are monoecious. Most of the animals what they are unisexual are dioecious with distinct male and female individuals. Examples are ascaris, cockroach, frog, birds, lizard, mammals, etc. Even we also unisexual organism where the in single body single sex organ it is present. So here we completed this topic. Remaining next we'll do in our next class.